similarities. Both crops are traded on the world market, and prices can change 5 days a week. Maybe they change 7 days a week, I don't know. But they go up and down. Now you can lock in a contract price on canola, but the prices will go up and down on the world market. It took us a while to get crop insurance on both of these crops, and the canola was pretty slow in coming. But we're doing better every year with crop insurance now. And last year, I can't remember what they call it, the ratio of how many acres they insure and how many they have to pay off on was better on the canola than it was on the wheat. They paid off on a higher percentage of acres on the wheat than they did on the canola, and I attributed that to our growers learning more about how to grow it. They're doing a better job. Well, we've got low pH tolerant varieties available now. You'll read a lot of information that tells you, oh, if you don't have pH 5.5, don't grow canola, and that's baloney. I don't know how low you can go, and I'm not going to tell you that low pH doesn't hurt you, because I'm sure it hurts your wheat, it hurts your canola, it hurts whatever you're trying to grow. But if you're down there at pH 5, you've probably got areas in your field that are lower than that. But at that point, you really need to start thinking about some lime. But if you're growing wheat, get you a low pH tolerant variety of canola, and you'll probably be all right. We've grown successfully canola down around 4.5. It's a broadleaf plant, so it's easier to kill grass weeds in canola than it's in wheat. And this, as I said, was a critical difference, because basically I'm a wheat scientist. And I got into this because of ryegrass and rye and goat grass and rescue grass. We pretty well had cheat and downy brome and Japanese brome. We pretty well had them licked. We pretty well had wild oats licked. And we thought we were doing a good job on ryegrass until it started getting herbicide resistant. And then it just got to the point that you spray $15 worth of wheat herbicide out there and then foam it around. Well, it didn't kill it. We go out there and look, and it's either rye or goat grass or rescue grass or ryegrass that we didn't get killed. And my gosh, you can only go to that field so many times at $15 a shot before you got to start doing something a little bit different. So whether or not you grow Roundup Ready canola, you can still kill the grasses out of it with herbicides. It just seems like that the other herbicides cost more. The Roundup Ready seed costs more, but the other herbicides cost more. So it's kind of a trade-off on which one that you want to do. Canola is an oil seed, so its price is affected by the price of soybeans. Wheat prices kind of move with corn prices. So you're kind of hedging your bets like the Corn Belt farmers. They grow beans and they grow corn. One's up and the other one's down. It happens a lot of times. The same thing can happen with canola and wheat. So it's another way of hedging your bets there if you've got two crops instead of one. And it's probably, gosh, the way crop prices have been for the past few years, you just don't know what the heck is going to happen. And it's been humorous, it's almost been tragic, some of these situations where the wheat price will go from $10 to $4 and back to $7. It just drives you nuts. Well, one of the other differences is the planting window for canola is a whole lot narrower than it is for wheat. You can get by planting wheat early December if you want to, if you get forced into it. But whenever it gets up to about the 10th of October, you really need to not think about planting canola too much. Now, we have gotten by with it. Yeah, we've gotten by with it. And if you talk around out here, you'll find some guys, they'll say, oh, we got by with it. We would plant it till the 15th or the 16th or something like that. But the crop insurance will tell you the 10th. I think they're still stuck on the 10th. With a week where you plant it up to a week later, but your insurance doesn't pay off as good. This year we had canola that was planted early in dry soil and didn't get a rain till the 20th. it got up, because it stayed pretty mild late into the fall this year, it got up, oh, that big around before it frosted. I think it'll come on through the winter just fine. I think it'll be okay. So we're probably going to learn as we get these newer varieties. They're a lot more winter tolerant than the ones that we used to think were pretty winter tolerant. The new ones are better, and I think that we'll see that if we get pushed and shoved, that we might be able to go a little later than October the 10th. But we have to develop the data, give it to the crop insurance people for a couple of years before they'll make any changes. More differences. Canola, like soybeans and cotton, is not a dual-purpose crop. You don't graze it. Man, this is a big issue. When we first started, we had guys, I just can't keep the fence. You know, like they just go through the gate. We had all kinds of problems, but guys, in all seriousness, in spite of the fact that we have particularly a few guys in Kansas that will insist that they could graze it and still make a grain crop, they're hurting their grain yield by grazing it. So the best thing is just to keep the cattle off of it. You don't graze your soybeans, you don't graze your milo or your cotton. Don't graze it, no. But if you're a person that's wheat and cattle, put the canola in some field where you're not typically going to graze. Canola needs some moisture down to 10% at harvest. And if you straight cut it, particularly if you straight combine it, you'll get some green seeds in there, and you'll get some few ground up leaves. And if you set that cylinder too close, you'll get some ground up stems in there, and it'll get hot on you. It sure will. Now, if you swatch it, we don't have near the problem with that as you do if you just got there and straight cut it. It does shatter. Boy, this is really tricky, and this is what caused us the most grief. Wouldn't you agree, Josh? Mike is a shattering, and the breeder's going to get rid of that one of these days, aren't they? But I think probably we started out hoping that all the little wheat growers could harvest the crop straight cut with their combine. And after they lost a few crops, they found out right away it would pay them if they'd gone out there and swathed it and picked it up with a combine. Now, you can pick it up with your regular hair if you need to, because you don't put it all the way on the ground like if you're swathed down belt. But that's probably the one additional expense that we have right now. If we could just get those plant breeders to take care of that for us, now we wouldn't have to worry about it. And I know canola is sensitive to most wheat herbicides, and finesse was a big issue for us when we first started.